shook me as well.
Yeah.
I was scared. Like I was genuinely
It was
scared.
quite funny. Ryan was just like, go, go, like get in the car, like. We're rolling.
So we're stuck in traffic.
Oh.
Stuck in traffic on the A1 Aberford on the way to Scotch Corner, and thought this is a good time just to go over our kind of like best and worst moments of the whole trip. So yeah, do you want to start, or will I start?
Well, I mean, I think we both agree on like a lot of the kind of best moments and worst moments, but you can start.
No, you don't know what mine are yet.
Yeah, but on you go.
Well, I mean, it feels like we've done. That's the funny thing. So like, it feels like we've been away for like months, but at the same time, it feels like we left yesterday. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
But like, there's so many best moments, and there is some worst moments, but they're few and far between. I guess I'll maybe start with the worst moment, because that's like something it's always easier to know the bad. So for me, my worst moment probably was when we not when we arrived in Italy, but the drive from Innsbruck to Italy, like that last half hour getting to Lake Lugano was like really tough. Like I was really struggling, I was really tired. We finally made it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm absolutely done in, I'm shattered. And then when we actually got to what was the campsite called again? Darna?
Yeah.
Camp in Darna.
Camping Darna.
Darna, shoot. When we got to Camp in Darna, yeah, it was like perfect location. Like we got so lucky with the location and the views. It was like phenomenal. It was breathtaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though I was so tired and hungry and irritable, I was like, this is phenomenal. This is gonna be great. But then when I started trying to get set up with the tent, the ground was just so hard, and everywhere else we'd been, the ground was like nice and soft and forgiving. So yeah, I was sweating buckets. The sweat was pouring off me. There was loads of kids like
it was the inferno.
Yeah, it was the infernal heat. There was loads of kids like playing in the lake next to us, and rightly so, but it was just so loud, and it was so much like, I was like overstimulating, and I was just getting so stressed out. And I was like, man, this is so beautiful, but we're not going to be able to camp here, or I'm not going to be able to stay here for the next 3 nights and enjoy it. So I was literally about, like, I was saying to Rebecca, like, we'll just stay here one night and then we'll go somewhere else in the campsite, or we'll find somewhere else to camp. Yeah. And Rebecca was like, you know, I'll just wait and see, because, you know, it's really nice.
That like was pushing me over the edge, because I'm like, no, like, this is the best place we've went to. Yeah. A little bit of noise is fine. Yeah. Like, we haven't really experienced that. Everywhere else we'd went was pretty quiet, and maybe some like partying and stuff like that, but no kids screaming and stuff. And the kids were just having fun, jumping in the water. The kids were just having fun. They weren't doing anything bad. Yeah. So yeah, it was just the mindset that I was in at that time, and it's just to show you that it's not all, you know, rainbows and sunshine. And literally, like Thor, you know, if you've seen that video, Thor, our Netherlands neighbour, he came and he saved the day with Thor's hammer, and we were able to get set up, and the tent was like, everything was great. I was like, thank God for Thor. So yeah, after that, my mood completely shifted. I was like, this place is beautiful. You know, I was just overreacting, and yeah, so that was probably my worst moment, because I just didn't feel like I was actually enjoying it, and it was so frustrating because we were in such a beautiful location. But yeah, so that was my worst moment. What's your worst moment? I mean, yeah, I think we all know what my worst moment was. The storm at like Lakebrook. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, the big storm, because we've had a couple of storms. Yeah, I don't mind a thunderstorm, but that was insane.
I don't know if this is normal or if this is a freak accident, but we were just paddleboarding out in the lake.
There's a peg on our roof.
What peg?
A peg, a metal peg. There's a metal peg on our roof.
Where's it came from?
I have no idea. Yeah, pretty much wanted to go home at that point. So yeah, I did not enjoy that. It was scary. It definitely left some like crazy trauma from, if any wind comes when you're in a tent now, I'm like, oh crap, is everything pinned down? Like, this is
I think at that moment, are you
going the right way? Because it leads in York.
No, Weatherby.
Okay.
So yeah, I think in that moment you were definitely like, I'm done camping. Like,
yeah, I think I just had enough. Like, to be honest with you, it was pretty scary.
It wasn't even the storm. Like, the storm itself was really bad, but then like we spent like the next 3 or 4 hours. The rest of the night. Yeah.
The rest of the night just cleaning up, and that for me was like, I mean, we were just about to sit down and have dinner, and the next minute we're getting blown about the table and everything's getting thrown across the other side of the tent, and the tent nearly flies away, and we're trying to grab our valuables and put them in the car and get in the car. So yeah,
it did feel like a kind of like life and death moment, didn't it? Like,
it was really bizarre. Honestly, it was so bizarre that I don't know. It was a really weird experience. It was. I'm glad that it happened so that like we're smarter the next time. But definitely, even when we went to Nattersea the next day, we had a thunderstorm that was literally just some rain. There wasn't even any wind, but that heavy rain just gave me the fear, and my anxiety just went crazy. Yeah. I'm not really an anxious person in general. I think I'm somewhat chill. It's more when it comes to things like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to take us some time to get over the trauma from that.
Yeah.
And then
I don't really like using the word trauma, but it
was traumatic.
It was pretty.
It really was traumatic.
Yeah. It kind of shook us a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was.
It shook me as well.
Yeah.
Like I was scared. Like, I was genuinely scared.
It was quite funny. Ryan was just like, go, like, get in the car, like. It was like something out of a movie. It was mad.
It was. And you wouldn't go.
I was trying to hold up the tents. I was trying to help hold up the tent.
I had to scream at you to go, and you finally went. And when you went, I then was like,
you couldn't hold it yourself.
I couldn't hold it myself, and the wind came and blew the table over, and the stove and everything on it. Everything went crashing. So then my path to get from the corner of the tent to the car was blocked with a table that had crashed over.
Yeah.
And so I just had to literally just like scramble, and I generally did feel like I was scrambling for my life. Like, I was like I need to get into this car, because it was just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And it came out of nowhere. So yeah, that was very scary. If you've not seen that episode, go back and watch it. Because,
or don't, if you don't.
No, go back and watch it, because it's definitely, you need to see the reality of it. This can happen anywhere, but especially in the Alps, the weather there just changes. Like
that I would say, like, as much as I enjoyed seeing the Alps and being in them, that really puts me off going back, is the extreme weather. Like, it was sunshine and daisies, and then the next minute it was crazy. And that can happen anywhere, but yeah.
It's much more common there. But yes, that was the worst moments. What's like some of your, I know you have a lot of best moments, but what's like just a couple of your...
You can go and say your best moment.
Well, in a nutshell, I would say, in all honesty, the whole trip. So all of the countries that we've seen, like, I've never had an experience like this where you've been in so many countries. There was one day, like the other day, we were in 4 different countries in one day. So just seeing all the sights and all the little differences between each country, it's really interesting. The Autobahn, I absolutely loved that. That was phenomenal. I like driving, as you can tell. I've driven the whole way. I have offered Rebecca if she wants to drive, but it's not like high up on her bucket list.
I'm happy to drive. That is not a problem. I would have drove abroad, maybe not in Paris, but I would have drove.
Yeah.
And it would have been fine. But Ryan was very determined that he wanted to drive.
Yeah.
The whole way there, drive us around Europe, and drive all the way home.
I have a passenger princess that I've got to look after. So.
Well, I mean, I've fed you snacks.
She has been very good in that regard.
I've fed you snacks.
Yeah.
I've been co-pilot. I don't know if you'd have been a good directional co-pilot for me. I mean...
Yeah, that's it, exactly. So we've leaned into our strengths.
Yes.
So yeah, the Autobahn, I loved that. I loved all the food that we ate. We had some phenomenal food.
Yeah.
All the people that we met as well. So that was a huge highlight for me, is all of the people that we met.
What's like the number one though? Like what's the best thing that you done or you went or seen or whatever? What was the one thing that made you?
Do you know?
This is it.
Right.
I know what it is.
The thing that really moved me the most, I would say, was actually driving towards the Alps and driving in the Alps. I'm not like a super emotional guy, and like most men, like, you know, it's just in our nature, we tend to push our emotions down. But I was simply just driving to the Alps and could see the beauty of the Alps, and I was like crying. I was like welling up while I'm driving, and I just didn't expect that to happen. I felt so, you feel so insignificant, but also like you just have a greater appreciation for like life itself and nature, and yeah, it really grounds you. It really does. It like takes you away from all of the bullshit and nonsense that we deal with on a daily basis, like working and all this stuff, trying to make money and all this stuff, and it's like just being in raw nature and seeing its beauty is like, scary as it is, it was just phenomenal. So that was really impactful and moving. And then other than that, I would say my other like big highlights would probably be just spending a lot of time with you and spending amazing moments with you, like doing things we've never done, like so many firsts, like paddleboarding, you know, in Lake Lugano. Like when we were paddleboarding in Lake Lugano, you're looking around, you feel like you're in some other planet. It was just phenomenal. Amazing. So yeah, there's so many like best moments and highlights, but that's just a couple of them off the top of my head. And also setting up the tent. I really love camping. I'm like a camper now, even though we've not done like roughing it, like camping. Like I think now we could. And I've loved learning a lot about camping as well.
I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed the kind of like minimalism of camping. Ironically, we took a lot of stuff, so you know that actually is not the case for us, but I enjoyed you don't need a lot when you're camping, and I enjoyed that. And
even like being on our phones, we've hardly been on our phones, you know, it's mostly been like research stuff for film, but like, you know, back when we were at home, you get in a routine where like you do your work during the day, you have your dinner, and then maybe you sit down on the couch and you watch Netflix or something like that. It's like we've not done that at all. Even though we can watch Netflix in the car or on our phones, we've just not felt the need to, because we've been in such beautiful places. We've just been back to like Rebecca says, like the minimal, like simple lifestyle. It's just really refreshing. It's been great.
I've got like two like number ones, because they're both like different. Like as an artist, Lake Lugano for me, like Italy, was just like, it was the best. It really was. It was the place where I felt most inspired, and I actually sat outside for hours and like sketched and just enjoyed it the most, I think. And I think as well because we were there for 3 days, and was it 3 days or 4 days?
4 days, 3 nights.
Oh, it was 3 nights, and it felt nice to slow down there. Paddleboarding on the lake, and honestly, you were like, we were in Lost. It was so cool. It was like a tropical island. It was amazing. So that was like my favourite kind of like camping, like outdoor experience. And then Berlin for me was just, it was the best.
Just the city itself, or like anything in particular?
Everything. the food, the people, the vibes, like it was such, where we were anyway, was such like a chill vibe. Everyone was like casual, and there was like no judgment, and people just done what they wanted, and
it was very clean as well.
It was very clean, and it was such a dog-friendly city. Like, there was dogs everywhere. There was dogs in the shopping malls. Like, it's mad. Honestly, it was just so nice. But also, it's like super designy and arty. It's like a artist hub. So I love doing like the art galleries and the museums. Like, that was really cool. Berlin Mall was really cool.
Gardens of the World.
The Gardens of the World was really cool.
That was awesome.
That was one of my favourite places in Berlin. So like, and the food was outstanding. Like, every meal you had was amazing.
Yeah.
And we didn't have bad food, but you maybe wouldn't be like, oh, that was amazing. It's some other places that we went to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like Berlin, I would 1000% go back. And the same for Italy, I'd go back.
I think we spent a lot of money in Berlin just eating and drinking.
And that's the thing, is the bars and things like that were so nice, and again, really like chill and laid back. There was no pretentiousness.
No, like high quality, but without the snobbery.
Yeah, whereas I feel like in other places it was a bit more.
You're talking about Paris. You didn't say other places.
No, but Paris, not even really. Just Paris. Like, there would have been other places that we didn't really go.
Yeah.
You know, like when we were in Innsbruck and stuff like that, we didn't go out at night or anything because we were at a campsite. But I think that maybe, you know, it would have been a bit more. I don't know. I think like feeling like you've got to dress a certain way to go out for your dinner or things like that. Whereas I feel it's definitely nice to get dressed up, but I feel like I'm a person who dresses for the day, not for like the night.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my kind of. I've enjoyed everything though. To be fair, like there hasn't been anything that I've not enjoyed except for the thunderstorm, but you can't control that. So
we've learned a lot. We really have, and I think it's weathered us, like, you know, physically and, you know, like literally and what's the word? Like literally and metaphorically, it's weathered us without a doubt. It's been a complete like transformation, I would say, in a sense of like how you view the world and how you view travel as well. Like normally we would think like, oh, if we're going somewhere on holiday, we would fly somewhere, we stay in a hotel or an Airbnb. But now it's opened up a whole new world. It's like, okay, there's another option here. So
I still would do that. I still would fly somewhere like and do that. But it's nice to know you have the option to not do that. And that it wasn't that difficult. Maybe like let's not travel so much in such a short space of time. But I think it would have been a lot more enjoyable in that sense, and like a holiday relaxing sense, if we had just driven to Lake Lugano and stayed for a week or 2 weeks or whatever it was. That would have been.
But we would have seen a fraction. Of what we saw.
I'm saying to do now.
Oh, without a doubt.
But now I am just really tired. I'm hungry.
Same.
And I just really want to see our boy. That's the goal.
Well, that's what I'm really looking forward to next. So talking about next and going forward in the future is I'm really looking forward to taking Alfie camping, because that's going to be a different it's going to be a different experience having him there with us. There's going to be things we're going to need to consider. So that's going to be really interesting.
There's a bunch of stuff that we need that we don't currently have, or we do have, but he needs like new versions of.
So I can't wait to see him and show him this lifestyle as well.
He's an outdoor boy.
But I think that does it then. That's some of our highlights and lowlights of the trip. So if you haven't seen the full series, go and check it out. I highly advise watching it from day 1 up until day 20. Yeah, this is day 20. We're just now travelling home.
You'll see the naivety.
Yes, you'll see how naive we were, and you'll also see how like unnatural we were to begin with filming, because it's something that we'd never done, and it's one of the things we spoke about. It's been difficult, like initially, to actually get comfortable talking to camera, because it's really weird. Like if you've never done it before, it's a really weird experience. You kind of become someone else rather than yourself, and I feel like now we're at a point where we're much more comfortable in our own skin on camera. So yeah, it's been really good in that sense.
I still do think that like I don't enjoy the filming in busy places and public places. I don't enjoy that at all. But that's just a me problem.
But anyway, thanks for watching. Check out the whole series if you haven't. If you have seen the whole series up till now, thank you very much. We love you. Really appreciate all of your attention.
Let's go and see our boy.
Let's go see our boy and on to the next trip.